Here we are, ready to begin our long looked forward to first Open Yagya Day of 2024. We have missed being together on this platform, but we are very, very happy that we've been connected in a very powerful way over the last few months. So on this Saturday, 3rd of February, we have a very full schedule, and we have a Maharishi tape that absolutely underscores what's prime in our attention at the moment. That is, our inner nature is peace, and we are the tiny droplet that makes up the ocean of consciousness. So when we're at peace, and more of us are at peace, then there is the collective effect. So please go ahead, dear video, and play Maharishi's tape, which is The Nature of the Individual is Peace. And that is from 4th of September 2002.
Maharishi Global Press Conferences, 4 September 2002.
Maharishi, this question from a news producer in Atlanta. What is the definition of peace, and how does individual peace relate to the peace of the world?
It's very easy to relate the individual to peace because basically the nature of individual is peace. The self of the individual, the Atma of every individual, the essential consciousness of the individual has a nature in bliss. Bliss is the nature of the self of everyone, and therefore one has a right to live his peace. This is the peace of the individual. Peace in the world would mean the association of individuals with their own consciousness. A few individuals, that we are going to create groups of individuals here, there, and everywhere. We have the program of creating 3,000 peace palaces in the world. We call it a palace, a residence of peace. Palace is the residence of the ruler. We want peace to rule the world. So we establish 3,000 capitals of world peace, where peacemakers will be living, and through their program, through their Vedic programs, these peacemakers will maintain peace in their group, and from the group, peace will radiate. Peace is the essential nature of life. So not much has to be done. Only the contact of the mind with the inner regions of consciousness will make the mind, will keep the mind in peace, like that. So peace is a quality of life which goes with satisfaction. It doesn't go with the stress. A stressed body, a stressed mind will not be a peaceful mind. A relaxed body, a relaxed mind, that would mean a fulfilled mind, a problem-free mind will be a peaceful mind. As Dr. Hagelin has indicated in the introduction today, that the basic difficulty is that every government is governed by the man-made constitutions and man-made constitutions are not perfect. God-made constitution, natural law, which governs the universe, natural law governs the universe, infinite diversity of the universe is governed by perfect order. And this perfect order is maintaining peace in the whole galactic universe. So knowledgeable people have the program for peace on earth. We are going to create a complementary government imitating the government of natural law, which governs the universe with perfect order. And always, short-range policy, long-range policy, the administration of natural law is short-range and long-range, a perfect administration. So why not, when we have the knowledge, Veda is that ancient knowledge of natural law which can create a very perfect, harmonious, peaceful, fulfilled life free from problems. So let's join hands in raising groups everywhere, and these groups will be automatically radiating peace, and then conflicts will be lacking in society, in human society. Problems will not be there in any nation. We can create a very ideal world for all our people on earth. Our whole world family will live in peace and always peace, because these peace palaces will house those peacemakers which will maintain peace in the area, and like that, 3,000 would be completely enough in the world, with one big nucleus in India of those Vedic Pandits whose tradition is the tradition of activity, daily activity according to the Veda. Veda means knowledge. Knowledge, total knowledge of natural law. So a big group in India and groups all over the world, this will create peace, and in the absence of problems and stress and strain, each government will have a peaceful time, a problem-free time. Negativity will not sprout in that. Just like the darkness doesn't overtake in the presence of light, So we have a chance. And not all the people in the world have to do it, just some. So we are trying to bring that day for the world as fast, as near us as possible, where everything will be cordial, harmonious, elevating to everyone, help thy neighbor, and all these beautiful concepts of religious life and ideal social life will all be spontaneously practiced. So it's a good news for the world that there is a group, our group in different parts of the world, they are solely devoted to creating peace on earth, and the day will not be far when the success will be registering a permanent peace on earth. Conflicts will not be there and all those negative things. After all, punishing is very painful to life. And wherever there is pain to life, there is not harmony. And the nature of life being bliss, it doesn't behove anyone to punish anyone or to beat anyone or to destroy anyone. No, it's all in ignorance.
So this is, just as I said, completely perfect. And we also particularly chose this tape because our late and much loved Raja Michael Dilbeck introduces Maharishi. And we just feel he's eternally with us because he's on all these tapes as well. Never mind the groundbreaking research that stands as a complete brick of support to the movement. And his work is not ended. He's left it all continuing. And he worked until, a very short time, literally half a day before leaving us on his research. So now we go immediately on to the report of India. So we want to look at the bigger picture because it was well over nearly 3 weeks of intense experiences. Where does it begin? So today we'll report on events in 3 key locations, starting with Hyderabad, the incredible venue that was so suitable for us. And then we go directly on to Pune, which is on the west, which is Vedaland. And then we culminate in a highlight in Ayodhya. So now we go to Kanashanti in Hyderabad, and there's just such a magnificent environment there. You see the views of where we were located. All the meetings took place in the big central, all the key meetings took place in the big central pavilion, you could say. And then other meetings continued in the other ones. And then during program time, the other ones and the big central one we used for flying. So the big center one was all the men. And it was really an incredible experience for those of us in the little satellite ones, different ladies groups around, and other levels of groups. And these were the tents, which initially caused a lot of stress for many because they weren't ready. The tent company let us down. But what did it do? It brought out the most unbelievable comradeship, kindness, support, solutions where there weren't solutions. It was highly evolutionary. We don't advocate suffering for evolution, but we overcame it. And there's the map. You see that big center hub. And we walked fairly long distances, and those of us who remember the time, the walking was in fact cherished. It kept us vital and strong. And here's the big group. And it's one of those pictures we'll share in the archive page that you can zoom right in and see each person's face. Because it's a kind of zoom picture, we're all bloated out like little frogs, but you still see who we are. We're now going to begin this incredible compilation of very clear, crisp reports on the event. Please go ahead.
Jai Gurudev, it's really been extremely fulfilling in terms of the promise for the future, as well as the status of our knowledge, our movement, and of course all of that embodied in Maharishi and the recognition by India. In everywhere where we went, on every stage, in every meeting, in every conference, press conferences, and all that happened. And every leader of significance in India that we met and experienced the great admiration and recognition and adoration they have for Maharishi, and all of us as his followers and disciples and representatives. And this course has sealed that in a powerful way that we really even did not expect in terms of recognition. They have come to the course. They have spoken in the highest possible way. They have amazed their followers that they can come and speak on such a level. And then how they took it and want to act on it, acknowledge its value for India and for the world. It's been really an amazing experience from that perspective. And of course, the most beautiful experience is always in the transcendence and the quality of transcendence that has happened during that course. And we have been very busy on many levels, and yet, as you close the eyes, you feel that the transcendence is just on the surface. It's no more like somewhere you have to take a few seconds or something and to go there and like that. It was just all permeating, all there. And all of this was getting its fulfillment and its ultimate value in the promises for hopefully many 10,000 courses, because this is really our charge from Rishi ultimately for the whole world. And this has happened in a very significant way. Whether you have come to the course or you have supported it from a distance for whatever reason, or have been supporting it indirectly through the years of transcending, the years of spreading the knowledge, of organizing it, of being faithful to Maharishi and his teaching, and of going through all experiences throughout the years. That is really all important.
First of all, we have to give thanks to Maharajaji for all the leadership and the initiative and the direction, the guidance, and everything that his presence generated in this very precious place in India. At the same time, the support of the great leaders in India of our initiative and the recognition, the full recognition of Maharishi's knowledge and Maharaja's presence and leadership. And the creation as an outcome of follow-up groups that and commitments done very seriously that we can comment a little, that expresses the continuity in permanent groups happening from this assembly. All these are great outcomes of the assembly. The assembly was a combination of various groups in various ways, and it started much earlier than when it happened, because we had people, whether Raya Bob and Raya Harris, putting the attention from October, and voluntary people on the ground from November and December. You could feel that the people, we went through so many things, great positive things, and we also had great difficult times because of the lack of performance of the 10 contracting company, and that created so many situations that we had to deal with. But when you see it overall now, and when you hear the people, something new, some new level of presence of the movement in the world was created and accomplished. a new time. Overall, of course, all the different groups that participated, because we have all these governors and SIDAs coming from the WPA, and then all the ones that came to do the yogic flying from all over the world, more than 600, and then meditators, more than 200, that came also from many countries around the world to be in that experience. And then we had also more than 4,000 students that they came, 4,500 from various places. And then we had the 900 pandits. And then we have the Himalayan ladies that they came, created a family of a world-class experience and unique experience, where explains a little bit the different schools and colleges that came. There was one college that brought 2,500 flyers.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. 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 Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Of the 4,500 students that came from so many areas, there was the feeling they got quickly, after some time, incorporated in our well family, and it moved all those school leaders and college leaders to have participated.
Yes, we have a short video to show you of all of them. It was 730 ladies, siddhas, yogic flyers with beautiful experiences, who came from the Himalayas. For most of them, they'd never even been to Dehradun before, let alone all the way down to Hyderabad in the south. Many of them came 10 hours by bus to get to Hardwar, to then take a train for almost 40 hours to Hyderabad. And we were worrying about them in the train, thinking, oh, it's so long, it's delayed. And we kept getting calls from the teachers saying, oh, it's so blissful. You let us see all of India. So they were just incredibly blissful and incredibly grateful the whole time. And then they just settled in and became part of the environment in Kanashanti Vanam.
we had the presence of the Maharishi Vedic Pandits, that they came from Brahmastan and from our personal Yagya program and from Nepal. So we had prepared this very small homage to the great presence of the Maharishi Vedic Pandits, that wherever they are, they took our assembly to a new level, and we thank you for everyone. We thank to all the organizers for this possibility, and people appreciate it so much. This was just to honor every group, the Maharishi Vedic Pandits, the ladies of the Himalayas, our precious students. They represented the Mother Bharat contribution to our assembly that was then having our more than 3,200 siddhas and governors and 600 new flyers that they were organized as part of the assembly and the meditators. As the result of this magnet of power that happens in the assembly, some of the very top spiritual leaders of India, they came, and some of them, particularly four, committed to make groups, whether two of them of Vedic Pandits and two of students, but commit of their disciples, to do that, and took a very serious compromise in front of Maharaja, and we are unfolding in the practical implementation. And also there was the own people of Kanavana Shanti, the people that was our host. They have about 5,000, and surrounding schools they have enough number. They have requested if the program can continue permanently there as complementing what they are doing. One was to the Vedaland. Kaleji and the leadership of the Vedaland, after seeing the experience of Hyderabad, restructured the project and the place and got more land structure to have there permanent 10,000 as part of the Vedaland. So that will be in terms of pandits. And then most prestigious university in Mumbai, of the highest level, the great lady introduced by our Janet Atwood, created the possibility, and we are talking to them and considering how their great university can have our program incorporated from Mumbai. Some of the schools and colleges that travel to Hyderabad, that after the experience they commit much more. 2 or 3 of them committed very deeply. They already had a few thousand flyers, so it was just a natural expansion. And we are in India organizing the contacts and the studies and the possibilities of how to accomplish that. So for us, the assembly was the beginning of the permanent group.
And about 600 people from countries all over the world learned the flying technique during the course. And that was another extraordinary achievement, to gather and then train in over 30 different languages all of these new flyers from everywhere.
Maharaja, we have a representation of the almost 600 course participants who would like to address you in the assembly.
Oh, wonderful.
Gurudev, everyone. We are so glad, happy, and thankful to be here in India and to receive this holy knowledge and to be also Siddha. We want to say thank you to Maharishi, and we want to thank you also to Maharaja. Merci pour cette vision que vous nous avez communiquée. Et nous sommes vraiment contents. En tout cas, merci beaucoup à vous tous.
We thank us for the knowledge and for being with everyone and for the joy and the whole ability to become a Siddha. I'm a translator also now.
We want to thank also our course participants because they were the most direct and living proof of the theme of this conference. This is written in small. Consciousness is all there is. So this yogic flying is the proof of this paradigm, and we thank everyone to going through this experience to refresh the memory of the human physiology that it's actually made of consciousness.
So the total number of course participants who have received the yogic flying technique is 594. We have represented Algeria, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Belarus, Belgium, Bosnia, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Egypt, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, Grenada, Guatemala, Haiti, Hungary, Makriosak, India, Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Lebanon, Lithuania, Malawi, Malaysia, Mali, Mauritius, Mexico, Mongolia, Morocco, Nepal, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Northern Macedonia, Norway, Palestine, Paraguay, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Portugal, Reunion, Romania, Senegal, Serbia, Slovakia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Syria, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom, United States of America, and Venezuela.
With over 594 recently minted Siddha yogic flyers from over 70 countries speaking 31 languages. From the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you to all the directors, coordinators, and teachers that we had the auspicious opportunity to interact with during the 10,000 course.
Melody Katz from the US, Susan and Richard Johnson from UK, Larry Clark and Beth Eager, Australia, Hamila Ibrahimi from Iran, Joe and Breda Hayden from Ireland, Raja Eckert and Lila Maria Stein from Germany, Peter and Enike Gajdos from Hungary, Maria and Milja Petrovic, Serbia, Tako and Fumi Wada from Japan, Chin-Fen Lee and Jingming Ju, Taiwan, Rico Chang, Malaysia, Umakant and Nirupa Madevi, Mahapatra, Susan Hamza from Lebanon, Albert and Vesile Baru, Turkey, Andrea Bianetti and Patrizia Scartabelli from Italy, Atman and Zora Koider, Algeria, Rafael de la Puente from Chile, Pedro Ojeda, Paraguay, Pashupati and Muktirani Patra, India, Ole and Ditte Markman from Denmark, and again from India, Ajit Kumar Yadav, and also Arjuna and Manjulata Jena, Mercy and Wilfred Okine from Ghana, Gift Serero, South Africa,
Solomon Mwangi from Kenya, Ojimi Godfrey from Uganda, Jean-Jacques Yem from Mali, Seydou Mbenge from Senegal, Eduardo Espirito Santo from Portugal, Svetlana Galstian from Armenia, Konstantin and Julia Osipo from Russia, Minraj Adhikari and Bimla Kumari Sharma from Nepal, Josephine Castillo from Philippines, and we had also a very devoted team of TM teachers who were here as course coordinators. Rick and Pack Law from UK, James Kahane and Linda Simmons from the US, John Amount from Australia, Wongeun Lee from South Korea, Ton Janssen and Michael Rosner, Netherlands, Marion Mitwede, Franz Josef Kahn from Germany, Chuluna Sanajant from Mongolia, Bold Dasanjant from Mongolia, Isabelle Boin from France, Kada Fakhreddine and Jean Abou Khalil from Lebanon, Sergio Martins from Portugal, David Mamaladze and Alexander Jorica from Georgia, Einar Jørgensen and Kari Fiskum Jørgensen from Norway, and then from India and Nepal, Vijaya Lakshmi, Tani Gainathan, and Bhupendra Nirajan Kania.
I really appreciate to get chance to join CD course in 10,000 World Peace. I'm glad to see friends who come from all over the world. I would like to use this technique not only to reduce stress for myself, but also create positive change in the world. So we wish a permanent group of 10,000. Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Wow, I think arriving at this level, we don't care anymore about our tents or at what time they will ring the bell to go to lunch. Thank you so much, everyone, that you left your country to come here to make this wonderful and beautiful impact, and that we will go to home, actually, to continue with this beautiful love that we brought each other during this time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
World, watch out. We have 600 new sitters in the midst of the 10,000 assembly. Congratulations to all.
We invite all the course participants to come in front of the stage here, and our dear course coordinators will offer them garlands and congratulate them.
Consciousness is all there is, one unbounded ocean of bliss. The deeper you dive, the more you'll find that consciousness is all there is. Consciousness is all there is. The ancient rishis all cognize this. The deeper you go, the more you'll know that consciousness is all there is. So many things to attract us, delight and distract us. It seems we've lost track of exactly who we are, but we can regain our sight and reclaim our birthright, and we'll soon all recall we are one conscious wholeness.
You can tell this is very special just for you. And now we're going to have a short clip that tells you about the leaders, the remarkable VVIP we got used to saying, very, very important guests, it's really special when India itself is taken aback and touched and impressed by our little organization having this huge idea to bring everyone together to create world peace in India. And we were amazed at the appreciation from the top of the top. in all areas of life, and many of these top people went on to the next event in Ayodhya. So please go ahead, video, and let's enjoy.
The 12th of January, around there, many VIPs, spiritual leaders of India, business leaders of India, came to pay their respects to Maharajaji and to Maharshi and the knowledge. And the first is Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram, Sri Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati. And then Sri Mohan Bhagavat, who is the leader of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which is a social organization that plays a very big role in the revival of Indian culture. Then Swami Govindadev Giri, one of the great spiritual leaders of India, treasurer of the Ram Mandir Trust in Ayodhya. Swami Virendranandji Maharaj of Nepal, who has many schools with thousands of students practicing transcendental meditation. And Sri Madhusudan Sai, who is a great leader of the Sai Baba organization. Acharya Vashisht Brahmachari, representative of the Shankaracharya of Jyotirmat, who has 5,000 students practicing transcendental meditation. Sri Kalaji, leading businessman of India, putting all his everything into the great Vedaland project. Vice Chancellor of Sri Satya Sai University, Narasingha Murthy. Daji, our host and guide of the Heartfulness organization. Gandharva Veda vocalist and Vaidya, Dr. Shubham Kulkarni. Amma Shri Karunamai, who is a great spiritual leader of South India, who spoke beautifully about transcendental meditation and its value for enlightenment and for world peace. The great Chief Imam of India, Umair Ahmed Ilyasi. He is the Chief Imam of 250,000 Imams of India and has a beautiful unifying vision and personality. Dr. Rajesh Naitani, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Himalaya University, with thousands practicing transcendental meditation. Sri Lakshmi Mittal, international business leader and philanthropist. Sri Sambrant Sharma, Director of Education of the Sri Aurobindo Society. He spoke enthusiastically for many groups of 10,000 to raise the collective consciousness. And in the end we see Dr. Devendra Trigunaji, President of the All India Ayurveda Congress, and these are all great leaders who realize the power of Maharshi's knowledge and have the ability to implement it in large groups for world peace. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. So that was quite touching, humbling, and impressive. Now we introduce two very precious and mention and appreciate two very precious leaders in the movement who were the masters of ceremony for the event. So Anna Mareka Shu and Dr. Neil Patterson, they just were like the glue of the universe. They kept everything flowing, glowing, and going with their completely elegant and kind balance. And we will start now with a short overview tape that Anna Mareka has arranged. She would like us to appreciate Coral and Melodia Morales, who put together this amazing tape. it's a short tape of highlights, and I would like to appreciate Adrian Valls, who has done endless work in helping me touch up, patch up, adapt, adopt, edit. So he's our great ARO team member. And then directly after this short tape, then we'll get a very short comment live in person from Dr. Neil Patterson. So please go ahead with the video.
We are very blessed and honored to have this celebration together. And Shankaracharya Maharaj Ji, these are all people from 132 countries. They have come to transcend, to experience samadhi. And we have seen through scientific research that when a large number of people practice this transcendental meditation and its programs, advanced programs together, they create a worldwide effect, depending on the number. Their number today is rising. All we need is 9,000, but we hope we will have 10,000 and more. And they are here with the great Vedic Pandits that have honored us, the tradition from different parts of Bharat, even from Nepal. And in your presence, Shankaracharya Maharaj Ji, this has reached the highest level of fulfillment as a start, and we continue to be together and transcend. And 80 years ago, at the World War situation, Sri Gurudev made a big yajna and assembled a large group. 40 years ago, at the height of the Cold War, Maharshi has assembled a great group that gradually later, with the expansion of the cities, reduced the tension and changed the trend of time. Today the world requires a permanent group like our group.
So today, in this august assembly of over 10,000 enlightened from 139 countries who have gathered here in India, Ved Bhumi Bharat, to enliven Veda.
We are very grateful today for this beautiful, beyond beautiful program, Universal Peace Program. His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi brought all of you for the Siddhi program. 10,000 meditators sit here and meditating for universal peace. What a fabulous program.
It's a great joy, along with her, on the other side of our Maharaja Ji, to have our dear, revere and adore Dr. Iman Umer Ahmed Elaisi, is the Chief Imam of India.
Today we celebrate a grand feeling of wholeness and fullness as we see all these great leaders coming together from right and left, from one tradition of belief to another tradition of belief, from one understanding to another understanding, really coming together with the flag of total knowledge, of purity of knowledge, and of wholeness of knowledge, to create a world that will satisfy Maharishi's vision, which he said before he departed, one of the talks, he said, "The future is bright and that is my delight." And today we see in this group, in this assembly, that these are the steps that are organizing and structuring the steps that will make the future really bright. As the knowledge is acknowledged, as the light is discovered, the darkness cannot stand. The light will spread, and as they say beautifully in India, in Bharat, Satyameva Jayate. That which is sattva, that which is good, that which is right, will always win, because that is what will sustain itself, maintain itself, be recognized as valuable, and ultimately will be approved, will be acknowledged, and will be fully adopted. And it is on that grand platform that we stand today in gratitude to all of you and all those who made this course possible. Jai Guru Dev.
So, gratitude is the theme. And that is what makes life worth living. That's why we wake up and we smile. And it's with great joy we might have a short comment from Dr. Neil, who was really a great heart and a great connector and a backbone to the whole coming together of the event. So, dearest Neil, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Susie. And I'm speaking to you all from India, from Ved Bhumi Bharat, and still basking in the glow of the bliss consciousness that was generated by over 10,000 siddhas and meditators and governors from around the world. It was absolutely delightful. And seeing all these images just now, all the great joyful images, celebratory images, reminding us of the wonderful, blissful time that we had, we have to remember that it was on the basis of doing our program together every day, flying for more than 3 hours in total, diving deep within ourselves and experiencing that infinite ocean of peace, the eternal field of peace, as Maharshi described in the talk today. That is what we're diving into. And so we have generated that ocean of peace, enlivened that in the world and in ourselves, most importantly. And in the group of 10,000, in such a large group, it's no surprise that we've been receiving incredible experiences of people during the assembly and even now having gone home. Just they continue to have these incredible refined experiences of the transcendental field of awareness and generating greater bliss in their lives. And that's why Maharshi said to us, he said, when we do our practice in a group, everyone enjoys the effect of everyone else in the group. And he said, if we have hundreds of people, the effect of the group purity on our personal experience will be many, many times more. So this was the most important feature of the whole assembly, that every day, whatever our situation was, whatever challenges we were facing, we all came together and all together met on that transcendental level of life, which is eternal peace, eternal bliss. Shivam Shantam Advaitam Chaturtam Manyante Saatma Savigyayaha. The
infinite silence of Shiva, that is peace. And that is undivided. And that is the one without a second. That is the self. And that is to be known. This is the great teaching of the Vedic literature. And so Maharshi goes on and emphasizes to us the need for group program very much, not just for the situation in the world, but for our own rapid evolution of consciousness. And that was, again, a great hallmark of this assembly. People felt so much progress in the expansion of their awareness and refinement of experiences during the assembly. So it's just a great reminder to us. But Maharshi goes on to say that the situation in the world is such that we need to urgently purify the whole atmosphere. And he goes on to say, nobody may remind you of the importance of group meditation. And he said, it's enough that I have brought this to your attention once in a lifetime. He said, you'll be doing such a great service for the whole world, which cannot be rendered in any other way. This knowledge alone will save the world. So it's as much as possible, we try to fly in groups wherever we are and attend local and regional world peace assemblies as much as possible. And if we are unable to attend a world peace assembly anytime soon, we're able to do our flying in a group locally, then Maharshi gave us another formula to increase the power of our program and its effect in the collective consciousness. Not quite as good as being actually physically together like we were, 10,000 in the vicinity of each other, in these beautiful halls of Kanha Shanti Vanam. But our enthusiasm, he said, for this program is so great that we are compelled to find another solution when we don't have halls for group yogic flying. And he was saying, even if we just, in the comfort of our own home, fly at the same time in our area as everyone else, he said, even if enough people do this, the effect could also be very powerful. So Maharshi called this also an emergency measure. When we can't be together as a group, then we do this emergency measure, and that will also have a tremendous effect in the world. And we have this beautiful Global Super Radiance online program that you can all participate in. And so we encourage you to continue to create as much coherence in world consciousness as you can, even though maybe you're alone, wherever you may be. In your home, you can participate in the Global Super Radiance program. So I just wanted to add my few thoughts and reflections about this beautiful historic event that we all participated in. And we can't thank you all enough and congratulate everyone from all over the world. And we see what a joyful experience it was, what a profound experience it was for everyone who came and participated from all different levels. Such a delight to see all the groups from India and the Himalayan ladies and school children, the Maharshi Vedic Pandits, Purusha, Mother Divine, and the dear governors, siddhas, and meditators from 139 countries. So thank you, dear Susie, for allowing me to reflect for a minute on this. And it's been a wonderful celebration today. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you very much, dear Neil. Your settling, wise words will carry home in every sense of the word, that we will put our program first regardless of circumstances. And looking at the next step of this program, we'll be visiting Vedaland. It was directly after the closure of the 10,000 rounding period, and a small group of people traveled together with Maharaja to visit Vedaland. And it was quite a mixture between really doing long, hard walking around a beautiful area and also culminating in a celebration.
The other thing that was special also was the visit that Maharaja Ji and many of our members of the assembly, they visit in Veda Bhumi, in Veda land.
Vedaland is a beautiful, huge project on the eastern side of India between Pune and Mumbai, which is being created by Sri Kalaji, a great businessman of India, putting his all into this project to display all of Veda and Vedic literature according to Maharshi and Maharaja's discoveries on the land. About 80 VIPs from the movement visited, and one main section is the miniature map of India with all the mountains, rivers, Jyotish Peeths and other holy places built to scale. We see the waterfalls coming down the Himalayas. We see the Himalaya mountains. It's all under construction. And here we see the 40 aspects, part of the 40 aspects of Veda and Vedic literature, and the celebration where Maharaja was honored and where he honored Kalaji and the Pandits. And we see Raja Luis, who has been just the key to all of the enlivenment of India and the 10,000 conference held there in India. And we see Mount Kailash, which even looks just like Mount Kailash. And so this is a wonderful project which we all thoroughly enjoyed visiting, and which will be a magnet for spiritual aspirants for generations to come.
So now we journey to another part of India, just in the hearts of the great leaders who went there. And we have a beautiful presentation on that. This was the inauguration of the Ram Mandir, and there's the map showing where it is, quite north in India. And there's a nice clip on the Ram Mandir inauguration, which is really inspiring and really beautiful. You see now Raja Luis will say a few words directly after Maharaja, and then we'll see the rest of the clip.
Ayodhya was also amazing. There were very limited places because the very, very high dignitaries were invited, and our movement was invited. It's really something magical and so respectful for Maharishi's movement and ourselves as its representatives, that really is on a different level, completely different level.
I think what was very special was that the natural interaction of Maharaja with all these builders of the nation and all the appreciation. So everyone that was in Ayodhya had been touched by the presence of Maharishi's knowledge and Maharaja's presence in India, and was in the celebration. And the Block 7, where Maharaja was located, was, as said, the what is called the very big BBBPIP. That means the very top of the cream of the nation, the 50 or 70 greatest level in the nation. Maharaja was there.
The inauguration of Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir in Ayodhya on the 22nd of January was a great event. President Modi attended, and the movement leadership was invited, and at the last minute Maharaj Adhiraj Rajaram attended and was very warmly received at the very highest level, highest honors. All dignitaries, great celebrities, billionaires wanted photos with him, and the feeling was, as one of the VIPs said, he, Maharaja, will show us how to manage India. It's a deep recognition of the profound understanding of Maharishi's knowledge and appreciation of it, that it is capable of creating coherence in national consciousness, for Ram Raj, the rule of natural law, for India and for the world. Jai Gurudev.
So this was the very precious, and it felt like a culmination of the 10,000. The 10,000 happened, and then that enlivened this full value of Ram Raj, and then Maharajaji, Maharaj Adiraj Raja Ram was in Ayodhya at that time.
So the timing is perfect. And now we're going to the next section, which is going to be a really very special honor for me to thank the volunteers. We just had grabbed at the last minute a few shots, and they are just angels, every single one of them. And Maharaja had cues going round the room 3 times almost, where he was thanking each one with a flower. And they worked really, this is the architecture here was quite phenomenal, quite modern and quite amazing. This is the registration area, which you could say was the knot of stress as people came in and were looked after and taken care of. And our volunteers worked, we witnessed them. They would work until they dropped, and then the next lot would step in. And always positive and bright in solving the impossible. And here they are being thanked, and also the representatives of every country in the world. Great appreciations from Maharaja. And another area which honestly is just saintly, you'll see on the top right that box with a person in it. That's our Spanish interpreter. And there was a whole long row of these containers with little windows, and each person was in like a shoebox. You can see them. And they took shifts and they translated day and night. It was just a huge thank you to the interpreters. And we've been getting some excellent press reports. We will share with you an entire booklet of reports, and this latest one on the right is a very beautiful one which we will share with you. Now we're going to very warmly invite dear Raja Harrisji to offer his words of balancing, wisdom and inspiration. Please go ahead.
Jai Gurudev, and thank you, Susie. I wanted to just report today for this special Open Yagya Day on one very beautiful aspect of the 10,000 course. And that's how much the Maharshi Vedic Pundits who were there enjoyed it and reported back to the other Pundits when they returned. It was wonderful for them to connect with everybody and see the scope of the worldwide movement, and to get a sense of the dear hearts that are really making sure that week after week they're taken care of. One other beautiful part of the course is the emails that I've been getting from people who were there or who watched, connected and watched, saying how to some degree they had forgotten kind of the scope of the Vedic Pundit program and all that Maharshi had tried to do. And it was a great reminder that the reason that we have Maharshi Vedic Pundits every day doing these yagyas for the world is because of the incredible support of the kind donors around the world. I also found that very moving, and I was just delighted to see all the movement coming together, enriching their own experience, experiencing the huge scope of what Maharshi wanted to do, and the scope of people from all these 139, I think it was, countries around the world. Great congratulations to all who took part in sometimes difficult situations, but nonetheless made it something very wonderful. Great congratulations to all the donors of the Maharshi Vedic Pundits, and great congratulations to all the Maharshi Vedic Pundits who love being there and feel so fortunate that their days, every day, is to bring those values of peace and coherence and prosperity to the whole world. Jai Gurudev.
Raja Harris, very beautiful, uplifting. I also wanted to quickly appreciate the ambassadors. We had a lovely meeting. About 70 or more came, and I know that there were lots more who couldn't come because they were busy helping to run the course. And here's our group picture, and here's the buzz as we were handing out beautiful bags that we're going to print more of to share with people who still would like some, and business cards and virtual cards. So this is just an example of, every country had a group picture or even a continent. So for example, here's Africa. And to the right, these are two people who booked like really the top level tents that you can get. And they landed up sleeping in bunk beds in a dormitory. They were over 80 and they loved every minute. So just to show you the kind of flexibility that was around. Now we can continue with the slides. There was the resolution for the 12th of January. And this we had put up on those massive screens on the 12th of January. And people were really thrilled that we started such a large Mahayagya to follow Maharishi's tradition of rapidly building the large permanent group in India to maintain a powerful influence of coherence, peace, safety, and prosperity overflowing to every nation in the world. So the question is, will we continue the global Mahayagya? Yes, because I'm getting daily feedback that it's really powerful. So these are the dates to date. And coming up next, we're going to go to the original Mahasankalpa, which is actually more directed to the countries. And that's bringing cooling and coherence for melting enmity and for promoting healing, lasting peace, safety, invincibility from disaster, any kind of disaster, right? For all people of every nation and region of the world. Our purpose with the Maha is to incorporate all needs in all levels, in all regions. We just have to have a holistic approach of point and infinity. We have our attention on the point, the area of pain and suffering, calamity, and the bigger picture, that it is just coherence. Next precious National Yagya opportunity is the 11th, coming up next, over Mahasaraswati. So then that's the next incredible big date. And it's incredible for National Yagyas, for the Mahasankalpa, because knowledge and wisdom from Mahasaraswati, and also for special Yagyas for your own inner knowledge. I particularly want to notice Raja Michael, because on the first day of the course, when we were taking off, Raja Michael decided to also take off. He flew into heaven, and you can say, and he is much adored by all of us, and his dearest wife, Mother of Domain Susie, and sister-in-law Rajajeshri Emily are just so full of love and almost celebration, because he's just in the best place. And Raja Michael is a beloved figure in the history of Maharishi's global movement, a man of infinite sweetness and blissful nature, the perfection of a Raja, and he's also been the source of the most important research studies, volumes of research, verifying the power of all of Maharishi's programs and of the Maharshi effect. And that's really very significant right now. So I think the whole thing is more than coincidence. So now we are going to listen to this short recording by Anna Mareka.
Thank you, dear Susie. We had two inspiring programs that were launched during the 10,000 World Peace Assembly. Both are key in our efforts to help raise the awareness of Maharaja's message of consciousness is all there is. The first one is the Consciousness Advisor Program. Maharaja gave a very inspiring talk on the deeper reasons why and how Maharishi gradually brought out the different technologies of consciousness and how that led to the creation of the Consciousness Advisor Program during the assembly. Miriam Lodge followed with a beautiful presentation that included an invitation to everyone that has been extended to you. The offer includes to register for a 30-minute session with a consciousness advisor, to join a free workshop on consciousness-based habit change on February 7th, which is an introduction to the Super You Habits program. And this program was developed as part of the Consciousness Advisor program by Dr. Nader, Dr. Keith Wallace, and other global experts for those who want to transform their life by creating better habits. And for those interested, you are invited to attend a new shortened Consciousness Advisor training course for governors starting in February 2024, or the full course for siddhas and meditators starting mid-2024. There has been already an overwhelming demand of the 30-minute Consciousness Advisor sessions, which highlights the great demand for the program. So congratulations. The other great initiative that was launched globally during the assembly was the pre-order package of the new version of Maharaja's book, with great support from Janet and Chris Atwood. The new version of the book will be published in English in July by Hay House, a division of Penguin Random House. This pre-order package is a way to contribute to Maharaja's global consciousness campaign while getting some wonderful gifts of knowledge for yourself and your family and friends. The package includes Maharaja's book titled Consciousness is All There Is, as soon as it will be released in July. It also includes 6 webinars with Dr. Nader starting in February on how to apply Maharishi's technologies of consciousness to different areas of life, and a 1-hour session with a consciousness advisor to get personal guidance. And finally, a new ebook by Dr. Nader titled, In His Own Words, Untold Stories of the Life of Dr. Tony Nader. There's also a special surprise bonus gift when you go to the pre-order page. To order Maharaja's book and his pre-order package, go to drtonynader.com/pre-order, and you can receive a $20 discount when you use the following coupon code, all capitals and one word, Dr. Nader 20. Please feel free to share this link and the coupon code with anyone you think will appreciate Maharaja's wisdom. Both initiatives are key pillars to raise collective awareness about the principle of consciousness is all there is, and to support our goal for a permanent group of 10,000 for world peace. Jai Gurudev. Back to you, Susie.
Thank you, dearest, beautiful, radiant Anna Marika. And we will share that link that you mentioned. It's something I think we're not come up before, but I think it's going to be very precious that Maharaja shares a bit of his private experience. It's never been done before. He's always kept it to science and mathematics and research and the bigger aspirations of our collective wishes for the world. And I think it's going to be really insightful. And the Consciousness Advisors Program is one of the greatest breakthroughs to get this knowledge, which is slumbering literally, out to the world. We always welcome new ambassadors. We are busy interviewing 3 or 4 who have come forward since the course, and more are coming. And we have some slides here for upcoming courses. So Indian classical dance for increased harmony, energy and bliss. Ayurveda, Maharishi Ayurveda aromatherapy, phase 2. Maharishi Jyotish Foundation, part 2 with Dr. Ann Kroll. Vedic dance, an introduction to Bharata Natyam, a very beautiful, joyful dance form with Rebecca Bush. And yoga asanas. This is Gudrun Budzik will be, as always, the executive director of this. And Gardening in the Light of Maharishi Ayurveda with Dr. Peter Swan. We'll share all the dates later. And that's it. Where do you go to find out more? MC, which is Maharishi College, Perfect Health. So Maharishi College of Perfect Health, International. Thank you. Good. So now we want to thank the Meru team. And that's Shiv and Rajneesh and Klaus Dieter, real saints, of course, Kader and the ARO team, and Secretary G, with the transcendence still in our minds and bodies. We very warmly welcome our Maharishi Vedic Pandit to recite the words of the Veda for us. Please go ahead.
Sri Vishnorastavinsati Namastotram Om Kinnu Nama Sahasrani Japate Cha Punah Punah Yani Namani Divyani Tani Cha Chachvakesava Sri Bhagavan Vacha Matsyam Kurmam Varaham Cha Vamanam Cha Janardanam Govindam Pundarikaksham Madhavam Madhusudanam Padmanabham Sahasraksham Vanamalim Halayudham Govardhanam Hrisikesham Vaikuntham Purusottamam Vishwarupam Vasudevam Ramam Narayanam Harim Damodaram Vasudevam Krishnam Paramarupakam Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः देवकीसुतगोविन्दं वासुदेवजगत्पतेः देहि मे तनयं कृष्ण त्वामहं शरणं गताः गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराज्यं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः स्वेद सादनम् सक्तुमिव तित उना पुनन्तो यत्र धीरा मनसा वाचमक्रता अत्र सखाय सख्यानि जानते भद्रैसान् लक्ष्मीर्निहिताधिवाची जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदाः स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वा नावे वसुन्धन् दुरितात्यग्निः सिद्धलक्ष्मीर्मोक्षलक्ष्मीर्जयलक्ष्मी सरस्वती श्रीलक्ष्मीर्वरलक्ष्मीश्च प्रसन्ना मम सर्वदा वराङ्कुशोपासमभीतिमुद्रां करैर्वहन्तीं कमलासनस्ताम् बालार्ककोटिप्रतिभां त्रिनेत्रां भजेऽहमाद्यां जगदीश्वरीताम् श्रीवरचस्वमायुस्वमारोग्यमाविधाच्छोभमानं महीयते धनं धान्यं पशुं बहुकीर्तिलाभं शतसंवत्सरं दीर्घमायुः जय गुरुदेव।
Jai Gurudev, this is just what we needed. It's been quite a powerful day of presentations, and I thank everybody I feel your collective support from wherever you are, and I thank you all here in person. And now we especially thank our Maharshi Vedic Pandit, representing all of Maharshi's Vedic Pandits, for bringing the softness towards the end of our event. So thank you, Maharshi Vedic Pandit. Very beautiful, very soft. Yeah. Soothing and healing. Beautiful. Thank you. This is the end of quite a powerful, newsy part of the day. And now we look forward to Dr. Peter Ledbetter, and he and Babette take care of Invincible Defense for Europe. And please give us the numbers and inspiration of those attending.
So it's a great delight to speak to everyone following the 10,000 for World Peace Assembly, which had such a powerful effect on the world. In a few minutes, what I want to do is I want to share with you a few of the experiences that some of the meditators had here in the UK and in Portugal who didn't actually attend the course, but were able to enjoy the quality of sattva which was generated by the wonderful group in India. Before we get there, just to remind everybody that we are trying to ensure that everybody throughout the world synchronizes their meditation and their yogic flying with their time zones. And I'll just show you the time zone slide here. So this is showing the different time zones throughout the world and all the different countries. And for example, in the United Kingdom here, and in parts of Africa, and also in Portugal, and also Ireland, this is the super radiance time is 8 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. And we have super radiance times throughout the world, similar sorts of time in different time zones. But the idea is that as the sun is rising, as the sun is coming up over the horizon, there'll be some group somewhere meditating throughout the world, and this will create a wave of peace and coherence around the world. So as Dr. Neil Patterson was saying, this is one of the key ways that Maharishi explained that we can create coherence. Now, of course, we need to establish the groups, and this is one of the most important reasons for the 10,000 Assembly to kickstart or to inspire the establishment of a large group in India. So we'll come to that in a minute, but just to remind you, or refresh you, the current state of play in terms of the coherence numbers worldwide. This hasn't really been updated for a few weeks, but just to give you a flavor, this is the way it is. These are people who are meditating or practicing yogic flying together in their different time zones throughout the world. And this big area here in orange is India, of course, which is creating a huge beneficial influence for the world. And then we have Africa here. And then we come around to Europe and the Middle East, a little bit less than Africa. So Africa is doing really well. Then we come to Latin America, doing very, very well. And then North America, and then Bali. Bali is also doing incredibly well. And then we come to Australasia and the Far East, and then Nepal, which is a really nice group. So all these together will be creating coherence for the world. And the last count, we still need to get these numbers updated, was around about 176,500 meditating or practicing yogic flying together at the super radiance time in different parts of the world. Now, let's look at this very important statement from Maharishi. You heard today in Maharishi's talk, we want a large group in India and groups throughout the world. In fact, this is our sankalpa. So how would it look if we had such a setup of groups? Well, it would probably look something like this. We'd probably find around about 70% of the coherence in the world would be generated in India. And then ideally in each continent, you would have around about 6 or 7% of the world's coherence being created. So this will be in Africa, in Latin America, in North America, in the Far East, and Europe, of course. So each continent, ideally, Maharishi wanted to have a group of 10,000 at least to create coherence for the continent, but also for the world. And this depends upon each individual country getting a coherence creating group for their country, which depends upon the size of which should be around about the square root of 1% of the country. So for example, in the United Kingdom, we need a group of about 800, which we have actually had at certain times for a very short period, maybe a weekend here and there. But we want to try and establish that on a permanent basis because our population is around 64 million. Square root of 1% of 64 million is 800. So that's how we work it out. So in your country, wherever you are, work out what your population is, take 1% of it, and then work out the square root. And then you'll know how many you need to establish in your country, and then you can work for it. So we all need to be working towards establishing groups in our countries and throughout the world. This is very important in order to fulfill what Maharishi's wish was, which is really our sankalpa, a large group in India and groups throughout the world. So now what I want to do is I want to share with you one or two experiences, and I mentioned this earlier, And I think it's very inspiring that the meditators, we have these online group meditations every day in the morning and the evening. People in our time zone, which includes Ireland, United Kingdom, also Iceland, and also Portugal, and sometimes we have a few others from other countries. So here's a few experiences just to give you a flavor of what the meditators were experiencing while you, if you were there, were in India, creating peace and coherence with the 10,000 group. But just at the beginning, when it was just about to start, we had this one experience. Somebody said, a wave of silence is coming, a wave of light and happiness, a wave of peace, a blessing flowing from the core of our being, blooming in our hearts, a powerful wave of love. That was the kind of feeling that people had just before the 10,000 assembly began. That something very special was happening for the world. And then let's see what happened during the 10,000 assembly. Some of the meditators reported these experiences. My meditations recently have felt deeper and more blissful. That was one experience. Another one. I went so deep in meditation when I linked into the 10,000 assembly. It was so strong. Some people actually did an extra meditation, which synchronized with the afternoon meditation in India. It was around about 7 o'clock or so, our time. But they found that just synchronizing with the group in India was very, very powerful. Sorry, it was actually a little later than that. It was, let me get it right. It was about 20 to 12. So I want to get that right. So people sometimes would do an extra meditation at 20 to 12, and that would synchronize with the group in India. Okay, here's another one. The TM at 11:40 a.m. daily to coincide with yogic flyers in India, I found was absolutely turbocharged and amazingly blissful. And here's another one. In my personal experience over the course of the 10,000 assembly, it was like a blazing stream of fire was going skyward through my meditation. It felt like a purifying fire. Very amazing. And here's another one. During the last week of the India gathering, and still now, I have been having powerful meditations. I felt this incredible wave of love and compassion. Very powerful, beautiful experience. And here's another experience. During these wonderful past weeks, I felt a profound, deep silence and being grounded like a tree with solid roots, but flexible and strong enough to overcome whatever comes. A feeling of being at home. Mother is at home, in Maharshi's wonderful words. Protection and safety, love and lightness. Wishing those feelings, those sensations to be eternal, infinite in time and space. And finally, I think you might enjoy this. I'm sure that the person who put it in the chat won't mind, but during the 10,000 assembly, this lady wrote this wonderful poem. She said this was the first draft, but I want to share it with you, and I hope she won't mind. I don't think she will, because she shared it already with the group after the meditation in the morning. Here we go. This is entitled Super Radiance. The flame of eternity burns within us. It's happening again to begin us. The flame arising within us all, our souls responding to the call. Lost horizons are seen again in the light of the eternal flame. Transcendental meditation, sending waves of peace across the nations, traveling and gliding on waves of light, carrying us all to a greater height. We're traveling, gliding on waves of sound. Restructuring is happening all around us. The air and molecules are vibrating and humming into the new world that is becoming. Transcendental meditation, sending waves of peace across the nations. It's in the atmosphere, it's in the air. People are beginning to start to care again. It's all around us, and we can feel that it's all becoming very real. Transcendental meditation, sending waves of peace across the nations. So Jai Gurudev, I'm sure you enjoyed that poem. Wonderful. And this is what we're doing. We're sending waves of peace across the nations. And we're doing this through this wonderful technology Moshe's given us. Group practice of transcendental meditation and a TM City program to transform life on earth so that everyone can be living in heaven. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Peter. Thank you for your great report and your care and attention. And I think numbers are and inspiration are up. And I wanted to just say again that Maharishi wasn't looking for a quick fix when he made the various big groups he's made. It was a catalyst to bring on other attentions and support and coherence groups. So the purpose of our 10,000 group in India was not for like an instant fix. It wasn't like switching on a light that suddenly everything's gone, all the darkness is gone. It was to bring in some light, and its sankalpa was to wake up and promote the potential for many 10,000 groups, and particularly if possible in the land of Ved, but anywhere. And I think that we are starting to feel and see these lights lighting up. I think there's such a major stress in the world that the realistic thing is to keep on keeping on. And the experiences were amazing. And the sense of I could say, a sense of inner maturity in relation to transcending is coming, a sense of prioritizing it, and most importantly, recognition from the land of Veda that to some large extent has lost their roots. So maybe that spark had to come in from outside. And that's what we're doing. That's our gift and the beginning of a series of gifts for the world. So thank you everyone for attending and sharing the future that we're all looking into. And once again, thank you to our leadership, and thank you to Maharishi's eternal knowledge that he, out of his compassion, made available to the world. And he, out of his compassion, has given us Dr. Tony Nader and all the other great leaders. So, see you in March. Jai Gurudev.